Hello, my name is Ana Lúcia. I'm a Master of Applied Linguistics by the University of Brasília, Brazil, and I'm here to share a little of my dissertation research concerning teaching English with tasks and experience in a Brazilian public language center. I'm an English teacher myself in one of those public language centers, and the goal of the research was to examine the implementation of a new teaching and assessment models using tasks and its results. The research keywords are language tasks, test-based language teaching, and literacy for design and use of tasks. The The research is an interpretive mixed methods intrinsic case study, and the research context is a public language center called SIU. Here in the Federal District in Brazil, where Brasilia, the capital city, is located, we have 17 of those schools in which mainly public school students they will have language classes. They will have access to English, Spanish, French, and in some of those schools they also have Japanese, and in one of them German. So, being an English teacher, I've chosen to work with English teachers as well. And one of the schools from 2018 on decided to use tasks as its main instrument of assessment and teaching. And the research took place in this specific CU with three English teachers from that school. Well, the data was collected through a variety of instruments, through document analysis, class observation, field notes, interview, and questionnaire, electronic questionnaire. All the data was analyzed through content analysis and also by crossover analysis, in which quantitative data was analyzed qualitatively. We also used a triangulation methods to compare all those data during the analysis. In what concerns tasks, there is no such a thing as one definition, one single definition for tasks and the field of research. So we chosen the definition by Willis and Willis, in which six characteristics define tasks, and they should be motivating, they should have primary focus and meaning, they would have an outcome, something would be produced, success would be judged. In terms of this product, the action, completion is a priority, but it is important to highlight that it's not only about getting the job done, but it's about achieving the learning goal, because tasks are by definition learning oriented instruments, the way we understand it and the research, and they are authentic. They are related to real world uses of language. So, taking into account these definition of tasks and the principles and procedures of task-based language teaching, class observation started to see how the methodology was being used. And it was quite surprising to observe that mostly the classes have lectures where teacher was presenting mainly structure and some vocabulary, and a lot of exercises were used, exercises from the student's textbook. And among those instruments, in all the three classes observed, one class per teacher, only tasks were used, divided as you can see here. So one in the 1B, 4 for the 2A class, and 3 for the 3B B class, and they are also leveled in the according to the European framework. 1B, 2A, and 3B are the names the school gives to each class. Another thing that stood out was the fact that most of the tasks involved writing. So only one was a reading comprehension task. And oral production was not really something that popped up. And we have analyzed that as a way to control more because written productions are they are more concrete than oral productions, and teachers seem to feel more comfortable to work with that and to assess that formally and informally as well. Students, they seem to be dependent in writing because the still writing, reading were supposed to be oral activities, but the students were not able to produce anything before they have written. Then what we see is an emptying of the best characteristics of the task itself. So we concluded that the tasks lost their learning generating potential because of the procedures and these control design, the teacher centered, which is not something part of the test based language teaching methodology. We don't have the performance levels, descriptors, and the principles, procedures, the enhancement input, the learning goal, and the qualitative feedback were not identified. And the result of that, of those procedures, which are not test based language teaching procedures, was an incomplete practice, present, and produce. Why incomplete? Because what we saw was pretty much the teacher presenting content, structure, to the students practicing through the one sole tool, which were the exercises, and the production was left away. So it was far from being a task-based language teaching real methodology. So they were lacking the best part of what tasks have to offer and what concerns teaching English. And then we thought, okay, we have this. We've seen the problem, but how can we solve the problem? We can solve the problem by promoting literacy, by having those teachers learn about tasks. And what's the knowledge we felt like are essential to develop that? They need to get in touch with theory about task definition, design, how to plan and how to use tasks, about task sequencing, and rubrics designs, because tasks are not, there are no answer key for a task, so you need to use rubrics because they are really task oriented ways to assess and to guide the students to answer the questions like, where am I now, where do I want to go, what can I achieve, how can I get better. So rubrics really are informative, and they offer guidelines to the teachers and the students as well, and promote these feedback as feed forward. So having this pack of knowledge, we believe that the instruments would really be learning oriented instruments and would promote learning in the best way. And all this is brought by a couple of authors mentioned here. Okay, so we had the problem, we had a plan, a solution, and what did we do with that information? We started putting this plan into action and really creating ways to promote this literacy through a mini extension course that took place in the beginning of this year, and also to a couple of workshops for pre-service teachers at the university and in-service teachers as well. And there is much more planned. And I would like to thank you very much for attending to this presentation. Those are my contact details, and also the research group I'm part of. We have a couple of interesting things going on, so thank you very much.